Hello, and welcome to Marketing 404's inaugural podcast, The Easiest Way to Become a Better Marketer in 2020. I'm Joe Edwards, and I'm joined by my colleague and reluctant friend, Scott Reis.
Hey.
However, before we dive into our first topic, I wanted to briefly explain why we've decided to jump on the podcast bandwagon and start polluting your social feeds. We're both big believers in the power of marketing and genuinely believe marketing is about to enter a new value-driven era. One where the most agile and authentic organizations will thrive. Drift's conversational marketing model being the obvious example. We also thought there might be a slight gap in the market for a shorter, punchier podcast that lasts around 10 minutes, but we could be wrong.
Let's hope not.
That said, we both see this as a personal development project, one which will enable Scott and I to better convey the value marketing can bring. So if only one person gains any sort of value or insight from the podcast, we'll be well chuffed. I mean, if only one person listens to the podcast, we'd have done a pretty crap job. We're meant to be marketers. Shall we not bother?
We could do them, and then if they're bad, just delete them.
Good point.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Scott, what is the easiest way to become a better marketer in 2020?
Thank you, Joe. So the easiest way to become a better marketer in 2020 is to understand your customer. And the best way to do this is to build a persona. Now, in B2B marketing, you really want to focus on psychographic traits, such as emotional drivers and high-level and specific challenges to build your persona.
Cool. And what might happen if marketing doesn't do this?
Yeah, good question. So the classic case of this in the B2B tech world is too strong a focus on product. If you've got a brand new prospect who has maybe just heard about you at an event or has seen your display ad, what they do not care about is if your analytics product can export to Excel or if your CRM solution can store up to 10 million records. Right now, they're not evaluating your product. What you have to think about instead is what's going through their head. And what they are thinking about is those kind of higher level challenges, such as how do I increase my conversion rate? How do I grow my brand awareness? How do I improve the efficiency of my social media processes? Things like that. So if you build your persona, you'll get to understand those thoughts and use that to tailor your content.
Nicely put, Scott. You nailed it.
Thank you.
All that little practice paid off.
2 hours of rehearsal.
All right. Okay. That's all well and good. But how might one build a persona?
Yeah. So you can build a really good B2B persona with just 5 elements. So you've got your emotional drivers. These are things like a kind of drive to acquire status or things. You've got a drive to experience new technologies or new things. You've got a drive to defend your position, those sort of things. You've also got high level and specific challenges. They kind of often tie together. You've got KPIs and you've also got personal interests.
Again, very good, Scott. Tick from me. Love it. All right. Let's make this a little bit more real. Let's put some meat on that bone. Can you put this into the context of a B2B tech CMO? I bet you can, because all that practice.
Yeah.
Let's start with the emotional drivers.
Conveniently, the example I have practiced. So emotional drivers in the case of a B2B chief marketing officer, they might have a drive to acquire status or influence for marketing in their company. They really believe in marketing and want to boost its position. They might also have a drive to experience the kind of latest and greatest in marketing technologies. or listen to the latest marketing podcasts.
Hint, hint.
Hint, hint. Yeah, so that's kind of emotional.
Nice.
Drivers.
And next on your list, I believe, was KPIs.
Yeah, so probably the most straightforward of the 5.
Mm-hmm.
This is in the case of our B2B CMO, it would probably be leads generated per month, marketing ROI, cost per lead, pipeline value generated by marketing, those sort of things.
And next were the high level and specific challenges.
Yeah, these are 2 separate things, but they often tie together really well. So in terms of, to give an example of a high level challenge, our B2B CMO might want to expand into an overseas market such as France or Germany, and then a specific challenge could be related to that. So it could be that they struggle to find a content writer in France, or struggle to get their content translated into German. Yeah.
Cool. And last but not least, we had personal interests.
Yeah, and it really is a case of sort of last but definitely not least. If you understand your persona's personal interests, in this case, they might. Our CMO might enjoy football or soccer for our American friends, and perhaps you could use that to kind of spice up your content a little bit. So you could write something like how Chelsea Football Club,
Boo! Boo!
how Chelsea Football Club have smashed their lead generation target for 2019 for corporate box subscriptions, and you can use that. So kind of like early stage awareness content to kind of reel in your persona. If you understand their personal interest, it can really help.
Cool. So what you're kind of saying here is personal interest. The personal interest section is all about giving your content an initial hook, whereas the other segments are all about getting to understand what your target audience wants to read and hear about.
Definitely, yeah.
So the personal interest segment is the pièce de résistance.
La pièce de résistance.
That's what I said. Thank you for repeating. All right. Awesome. Great stuff. Thank you, Scott.
Thank you.
I don't think that was completely terrible. I think we might have just done a thing. Woohoo! So, cool. All right. Thank you to everyone who made it this far. We promise to get better. That this was our first one, so don't hold it against us. If you enjoyed it, please, even if you didn't, please make sure you check out our LinkedIn page, Marketing 404. Over the next few weeks, we'll publish some summary slides. But until then, we hope you'll join us for our next podcast, where we'll discuss how to get your content ranked on Google. That sounds interesting, doesn't it? All right.
I'll be there.
Good. All right. See you soon. Thank you.
Thank you.